Hey everybody, we have our topic of the day is perimeter. We're going to be looking at it a little bit, looking at all kinds of different problems to get you really comfortable with the idea. Before we begin, let's talk a little bit about what perimeter is. The definition of perimeter is how long something is on the outside. So we have a couple cartoons here that go over that very nicely. Here we have a lady stepping on some guy's hand who's obviously in a lot of pain. But the idea here is that the lady is measuring the perimeter. She's measuring the side, and she's going to measure the top length, the side here, and the bottom length. And she's going to add up all those numbers. Here we have a dog sitting on his doghouse. He says the perimeter is secure. And what he means by that is that he has a dog bone. And around the dog bone, it looks like he's got some manure laid around there to protect, or maybe they're rocks. I think they're manure. I don't know if anything is going to come near this thing here, and that's why probably he's very confident about it. But he's talking about the perimeter being secure, meaning all the way around is very, very secure. There's nothing to worry about. Moving on. We have here a triangle, and what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be measuring the perimeter of this triangle. So let me just get my colored pen out here. Let's use red for this here. For this triangle here, if we wanted to measure the perimeter, what we would say is that this side from here to there, from here all the way to there, is 8 centimeters. And then the other side is 8, so we go plus 8. And the other one is plus another 8. Now technically you want to write cm, you want to write centimeters beside each of these here, but for this case here, just so we can move a little quicker, I'm just going to write it out without the centimeter symbol. So we have 8 plus 8 plus 8. Now using our double strategy here, we know that 8 plus 8 is 16. And then you add another, let's see here, 16 plus 10 is 26. But this is 2 less, so it's 24. And I know that the perimeter is 24 centimeters. Now the new topic, I guess we're going to integrate this, these two terms here, edges and vertices. Edges are how many straight edges there are. So look, this is an edge. Sorry, it's my mistake. An edge is a straight line. So we have one straight line, two straight lines, and Mr. Melhem can't trace over lines very well. And we have 3 straight lines. So we write there's 3 edges. All right, so we have edges, our straight lines. We have 3 of them. And vertices, now look, vertices here. Vertices are just the pointy areas. You know, that's a pointy area, pointy area, pointy area. We have 3 of them. And here's a good way to remember what vertices are. Vertice starts with the letter V, and the bottom of V is very pointy. So vertices are pointy parts of a shape. And the name of the shape, of course, is a triangle. So we write triangle in the space. Looking at our second shape, we have... Now look, I'm going to go in a different order here, but look how many edges there are. There's 1 on the top, 1 here. If we keep counting, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-sided shapes are hexagons. And the word hexa means 6. So we have a hexagon. How many vertices? Let's count them. How many pointy areas are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 pointy areas, 6 vertices. How many edges? We just counted them. There were 6 edges. Remember, edges are the straight sides. So we have 6 of those. That's why we said it's a pentagon. And then the perimeter, now look what it says here. It says each edge, and that's a key word here. Each edge, or each side, sides and edges mean the same thing. Each one is 25 centimeters. So we have this one's 25, this one's 25, they're all 25. So think about what we're going to have to do to get the perimeter. Now the perimeter is going to be 25. We have to add up all the edges. Plus 25, plus 25, and we have 6 of them. Plus 25, plus 25. And it's important that you write this out. You don't just take any shortcuts that may come to mind. So I wrote out all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look, we know how to count by 25, so that's not a big problem here. We have 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. So the perimeter is equal to 150 centimeters. So let's try these two over here. We have the perimeter of this shape. Let's do this. Well, I'm not going to write them all out. You do. On my test, you're going to have to write them all out. I'm not going to do it because I'm the teacher. I can do anything I want with this here. I got 5 and 5. Look, I'm going to do shortcuts with this. So I'm going to use my mental addition strategies to get the answer. I know that 5 and 5 is 10. And I know 6 and 4 is 10. And I know 10 and 10 is 20, right? These two make 10. These two make 10 when I add them up. That makes 20, and then 6 more makes 26 centimeters. Remember, you have to write the entire equation down. And then we have over here vertices. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices. So I'm going to write 5. For edges, I've got, if I count them, I have 1 edge. Now let's change color so we can see it a little bit better. We have 1 edge, 2 edges, 3 edges, 4 and 5 edges. So we're going to write 5. And the name of the shape, any 5-sided shape, 5 means penta. So remember that. Pentagon. Moving on to the square. Now look, each side is 5. So we're going to write 5 here, 5 there, 5 here, and everywhere. Put them all 5s. And look, to get the perimeter, you have to add them all up. Now, I know 5 and 5 makes 10. These two make 10. And these two 5s here make 10. So when I add them all up, I get 10 and 10 is 20 centimeters. So I'll write 20 centimeters. Edges, can count them. We have 4. Vertices, I also have 4. Vertices are pointy areas, remember. So this is pointy, and that's pointy. And the name of the shape, since all the sides match, they're all 5, we call it a square. And it's important that a square has all equal edges, which means all of the edges, all of the sides have the same length. Now, you're going to see examples where instead of, cases like this, you're going to find cases as well where there's dots. We call this dot paper, and because it's just covered with dots. And all you have to do here, you got to count. Again, look, here's what you do. The spaces in between are worth 1. Every space is worth 1. Don't count dots. If you do, you're going to get some of them are going to end up being wrong. You might get lucky with a few of them and get them right, but you have to count the spaces in between. Don't count dots. So if we change colors, let's go red. If we count the spaces, we have 1 here. We have another space between these dots, and we have a third space between the dots. So I have this edge is 3. And this bottom edge is going to be the same thing because they match. And the sides here, let's see, we have 1 space, 2 spaces, so I write 2 cm, 2 centimeters. And here it's going to match again. We're going to have 2. So the perimeter is going to be, well, look, if I use my addition strategies, I know that 3 plus 3 is 6. And let's write 6. And I know 2 and 2 is 4. And we all learned what makes, 6 and 4 makes 10. That was something you had to memorize. So 6 and 4 is 10, and the perimeter is 10 centimeters. Vertices, 4. Edges, 4. Here, what do we got? We got some perimeter calculation. So let's see here. Let's get the lengths here. We have 1 space between the dots. We have a second space. Here, we also have 2 spaces between the dots. So I'm going to write 2. Here I have 1, 2, 3 spaces. Here I have 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's use our addition strategies. We have 2 and 2. That's 4. And we have 3 and 3. That's 6. And we have 4. So let's see here. Now here's what anytime I can make a 10, I'll make a 10 before I do anything else. And here I have 4 and 6 is 10, and 4 more makes 14. So the perimeter is 14 centimeters. How many vertices? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointy areas, so we'll write 5. How many edges? If you count them, here's an edge, 3, 4. That's a house. We have 5 edges. Name of the shape, I know it doesn't ask you, but the name of the shape, remember, is a pentagon. And that's because it has 5 sides. Here we have a shape of an L. The perimeter of this L, well, let's do the math here. We have 1, 2, 3. If you count this side, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, take it slow. You don't want to mess up. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll write 5. The bottom we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, don't forget the ones that are standing up. We have 1, and this one here is 2. So let's add the numbers. Let's see if we can find any patterns. Remember, as long as, as far as I'm concerned, anytime I can make it 10, I'm going to make it 10. So here we have 5 and 5, or S. Let's make it a 5. 5 and 5 is 10. Here I have 4 and 2 is a 6. And this is a 3. So I don't see any patterns there. But look, we have 10 and 6 is 16, and 3 more is 19 centimeters. How many vertices? Well, let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we write 5 vertices. Nope, unfortunately that is incorrect. Students will oftentimes forget this vertice here. It's kind of backwards. It's not the same shape as this one where it's pointing out. This one's actually pointing in. So don't forget it. It's still a pointy area. It's on the inside of the shape, but it counts. So we have 6. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 edges. Moving on to this shape, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a challenging shape. It gets everybody. Every year I give this sort of question, students seem stumped by it, and I think I have an idea why, and I like to give it out a lot because it is a little bit of a challenge. But let's see what we could do here with perimeter. Let's see what we have here. Now look, we don't have dots anymore, we have squares. So same idea, you still count the spaces. So you have 1, 2. On the top we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. On the side we have 1, 2. On the bottom we have 1. On this one we have 2. And here we have 1. So the perimeter must be then 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. And students will write 12. And they think they got it right, but actually 12 is the wrong answer. And try to see why. Because they forgot these sides here. They count. I'm going to color them green because this is the part here that whenever students get this question wrong, this is where they mess up, the ones that are standing up like this. So don't forget them. Every side counts. So this is a 1, and that's a 1. So let's figure out the perimeter using our strategy. So this is a 4. These are 2, 2, 2, and we know how to count by 2. So 2, 4, 6. These here make a 2, so 8, and this is another 2, 10. So 10 and 4 is 14. So I'm going to write 14 centimeters. Notice I didn't have to count on my fingers on any of these questions just because I'm very comfortable, and so are you, with these addition strategies. How many vertices? Again, kids will get confused with this and they'll mess it up, but I'm going to show you here where they mess up. So we have 1. Let's change it to, let's see what's a good color. Let's use green. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they'll write 6, but 6 is the wrong answer because there's 7 here, and here's the 8th one, and that's where students forget to include what they include here is they forget to include these 2 over here. So there's 8. How many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 edges. Okay, now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes of this unit, where we have to combine perimeters and compare them with one another. So which of the following shapes, let's read this question, which of the following shapes has a perimeter that is greater than 20? And that's the key part here. We need, which of the following shapes has a perimeter of greater than 20? So my advice to you is to calculate the perimeter of this shape and all of them, and write them, inside of it, so you have something to work with. So here I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 4. I got 2 on the top. I got 1, 1, 1, that's 3, and I have 2 over here. I've got 2 over there, and I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces there. So the perimeter addition strategies, look, 4 and 2 is 6. These 2 make 4, so we have 6 and 4 is 10. 10 and 5 is 15, and then 3 more is 18. So I'm going to write in red so we could see it. This perimeter is 18. Moving on to this shape, we have 3 on the side, 3 all around. This is a square because all the sides match. And we know that 3 and 3 is 6. 3 and 3 is 6. So we have 6 and 6 is 12. So I'm going to write, let's see, let's change color. Let's do green. Let's write 12 inside of this one. The perimeter of this shape, ladies and gentlemen, let's see this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 2. This is as 2 as well. Here we have another 2, and another 2, and another 2. So we have a bunch of 2s, and that's nice. We like to count by 2s. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 3 along the side. We have, now look, we have 1, 1, and 1. That's 3 centimeters. And we have 2 centimeters along the top here. So let's add this up using our strategies again. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm going to stop at 10 because I like 10. I like to work with it. I know that 4 and 4 is 8. And I know that 10 and 8 is 18. And then we have 2 more makes 20. And then 6 more. These 2 make 6. It makes 26. So I'm going to write 26 inside of here. And this perimeter is 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's not use red. I like to put my final answer as red. So let's convert back to green. So we have 4 for this edge. We have 3 on the top. We got, let's see here. I'm going to put one number here. We have 2 plus 2 plus 1 makes 5. So I'm going to write 5. Let's put it right here. So 5 is for all 3 edges combined. And here we have 2. And here I have 4. And then the bottom, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And my strategy is I always like to make 10s first. So I recognized here that I have 4 and 6 is 10. And then let's see here. We have any other patterns? Well, I know that 5 and 3 is 8. So 10 and 8 is 18. 2 more makes 20. And then 4 more makes 24. So I got 24 in total. I'm going to write it on the bottom. 24 for that shape. So which of the following shapes has a perimeter greater than 20? Well, the only shape that has a perimeter greater than 20 is D, right here. So that's the answer for that one. Which of the shapes, now let's read this one carefully. Which of the shapes has a perimeter that is between, so we need something between 15 and 20. So let's see, this is 26. That's too big. We need something that's a little bigger than 15. So somewhere between 15 to 20. So 12, you know what, 12 is close, but it's not between these two numbers. It's smaller than 15. 24 is too big. What do we have here? 26 we said is too big. 18 is it. See, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's right in the middle between these two. So that's the answer, A. And then the third one, which of the shapes has a perimeter that is between 25 and 30? So between 25 and 30. So that's going to be C, because it's bigger than 25 and it's less than 30. It's right in the middle between them. Which of the following shapes has a perimeter between 10 and 20? So something that's, you know, between 10 and 20, and that's going to be 12. So we write B. B. Now it's your turn, ladies and gentlemen. Take a moment to pause the video. Try. I've got 2 questions for you. Well, 2 pages of questions. This is the first page. Try it, and we'll come back in a minute to look over our answers. Ready, set, go. All right, everybody, we're back. Now, here's the answers for each shape. I'm going to click on it to reveal it. See if it matches yours. If it doesn't, you probably have to go back and check your answer again and make sure you count carefully. These are tricky. So here's the answer to the first one, 36 centimeters. The second answer, 22. Answer for C was 18 centimeters. And the answer for D was as well, also 18 centimeters. So to answer the questions now, let's see what we have to work with here. It says, which of the shapes has equal perimeters? Well, that's going to be 18 and 18. They match. They're equal. So we're going to say C and D. C and D. Which of the shapes has a perimeter that is greater than 20? So we want something greater than 20, but less than 30. So something that's bigger than 20. Well, let's see. 18 isn't bigger than 20. 18 isn't the same thing. It's not bigger than 20. This is bigger than 20, and this is bigger than 20. But only one of them is less than 30. And it's not this one. It's that one. So it's going to be B. Which of the following shapes has a perimeter that is less than 40? Oh, wait, but greater than 30. So we want something less than 40. This is less than 40. This is also less than 40. This is less than 40, and this is less than 40. But Only one of them is greater than 30. So we want something greater than 30. Not these two, not this. This isn't greater than 30. This is the only one greater than 30. So we're going to write A. And the last one, which of the shapes has between 10 and 20 edges? Okay, we have to count here. 10 and 20 edges. Let's see, how many edges does this have? This has one edge. That whole thing is an edge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 edges. Between 10 and 20, well, 10 is exactly 10. It needs to be somewhere between 10 and 20, so that wouldn't count. This is wrong. How about this one? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not going to be right. This one here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not going to be right. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they're all wrong. Well, I think that's just an example of a bad question that Mr. Melhem made. Let's change this here to say that has between 9 and 20 edges. In that case, this one would be the winner because it has 10 edges, and that's between 9 and 20. Now be ready to give it all you got for this last question. I'm going to give you again a few minutes. This question like this should take you about, say about 5 minutes to complete. We have 4 questions here on the side you got to answer. You got to add the perimeters all together and figure it out. Should take you about 5 minutes. Some of you might take a little longer. That's all right, but work towards getting it done in 5 minutes. Ready, everybody? Pause the video in 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, we're back. Let's reveal the answer, see how well you did. Answer for number 1, 22 centimeters. Answer for number 2, 22 centimeters. Answer for number 3, where's the answer for number 3? Where'd you go, there he is, 42 centimeters. And the answer for D was, and I make these options and then I don't know where I put them. There he is, 44 centimeters. So we have, these are the 4 answers. If you messed up on any of them, go back and see where you went wrong. And I hope you're writing it all down and doing, using your addition strategies to calculate the answers instead of counting on your fingers. Nobody wants to do that anymore. So let's see what we have here. We have, which of the shapes have equal perimeters? So we have, of course, that's going to be A and B. A and B have equal perimeters. They match. So we write A and B. For the second question, it says, which 2 shapes, so we need 2 shapes, have perimeters, so we're going to get the perimeter, which we already did, that have a sum. Ooh, what does sum mean? Sum, now look back, think back here. Sum means add. It means the answer to addition of 86. Now when you do this, don't just randomly pick 2 shapes and test it out. Use some logic behind it. So we need the number 80. We got to make 86, right? Now, if we add these 2 numbers, it would be a waste of time because look, using our front-end addition strategies, here we have 2 10s, which is 20, and here's another 2 10s, 20. So 20 and 20 is 40. That's not going to give us 8 10s or 80. So that's a waste of time. The only thing that would work is if we took this 40 here, that's 4 10s, and 4 10s is 80. 4 1s and 2 1s make 6, so we have 86. And that's between C and D. And then we have this question here asking us which 2 shapes, again we need 2 shapes, have perimeters that have the sum of 66. So again, using logic, we have, be a waste of time to combine these 2 because 20 and 20 is 40 and we need something in the 60s, so that's a waste of time. How about this one here? We have 40 and 20, that's 60, so that's a pretty good maybe an option to use between these 2. But look what happens. You have 2 1s and 2 1s, that's 4, so we have 64. That's not 66. So our best option is to take this one here, 44 and 22, and if you add them, they do make 66. So it is A and D. And then the last one, what is the sum of the perimeters of shape A and B equal to? So again, what does the sum, we know what sum means. It means you have to add them together. We need the answer to it. What does the sum of perimeters of the perimeters of shapes A, and that should be shapes, A and B equal to? So we need A and B. Here's A, here's B. That's just doubles. That's 44. So it works out to be 44 centimeters. Thanks everybody for joining me in this perimeter lesson. I want you to take two things out of this. Number one is being able to comfortably use the addition strategies we learned in the previous unit. And number two, being able to find the sums of different shapes and their perimeters in order to answer, these types of questions. So if you could do that, you're on your way, you're flying. Thanks again. Keep practicing, keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next lesson.